Still on matters health, the country is intensifying its fight against HIV with efforts of vaccine development as it prepares for World AIDS Day coming up on December 1st, aiming to reduce infections by 2030. The National Endemic Disease Control Council reveals that men face alarming infection rates, highlighting the urgent need for targeted interventions. And as Anne Odida now reports, this year's celebrations aims to bring men on board as critical contributors in the fight against HIV.
The country is making significant strides in its fight against HIV, including efforts to develop a vaccine that could change the trajectory of the epidemic. The vaccine is still in its experimental phase. It's being tested on HIV-negative individuals to assess immune responses and evaluate its potential to prevent infections.
We are at a very early stage of development, but we have made progress that we deem as quite positive towards our final goal.
Despite progress, the statistics remain alarming. In 2023, approximately 1.3 million people were living with HIV in Kenya, with men accounting for 35% of these cases, equating to 487,710 individuals. Men, particularly those aged 15 to 34 years, are disproportionately affected. Additionally, 8,490 men have died due to HIV-related causes in 2023. Every day, approximately 11 men contract the virus, adding to the burden of 77 new infections weekly.
Although boys and men account for a smaller proportion of number of new infections, they account for a disproportionately high rate of deaths due to HIV, and this is directly linked to health-seeking behavior.
A critical aspect of this year's World AIDS Day campaign is addressing the often overlooked needs of men and boys. For years, HIV programs have focused primarily on women and girls, leaving men underserved and at risk. Societal norms that discourage men from seeking help, coupled with high rates of substance abuse and mental health challenges, have created a cycle of silence and neglect.
There are several trends in data that shows us that men have been left behind. Somehow they are not catching up in the manner that we want them to catch up.
Currently, approximately 89% of those who inject drugs in Kenya are men, with regions like Nakuru seeing a rise in drug-related HIV infections.
The longest time in Kenya, we knew that drug use is only in the coastal region. However, we are being proven wrong by statistics, because we are seeing the trend now in counties that we were not experiencing this before.
This year's National World AIDS Day theme is "It's a Race Against Time," and the focus will shift towards the country's future goals in the fight against HIV. And with new strategies in place, the day will highlight the continued progress made and the urgency of addressing the gaps in public awareness, particularly as the country works towards its 2030 targets. Anne Odida, TV 47, Nairobi.